Kentucky Senator Rand Paul. Senator, you really got under his skin. My theory is that he's become a global celebrity, a global influencer on COVID. But now we know the truth about that lab and the fact that we funded it, and they did all that gain-of-function research there. And Anthony Fauci seems like he was not only aware of it, but didn't seem like he really disapproved of it.
Well, and if you notice what his response is now, his response is, oh, it was unfair, but he never really responds to the actual facts of the case. Number one, the NIH did, without question, fund this research. The bat scientist, Dr. Shi, she acknowledges it. We have the NIH number from the grant. The only thing in dispute is whether or not it was gain of function. But they took viruses that don't normally infect humans, animal viruses, they combined them with other viruses, and lo and behold, they discovered they can infect humans. That's the very definition of gain-of-function research. And it's an important thing because it's such bad judgment. See, he was asked in 2012, Dr. Fauci was asked, what if a pandemic should occur? What if a scientist gets infected by a virus and releases into the public and there's a pandemic? And he said, even if that happened, that the scientific research would be worth it. So that's really the explaining he has now. He has explained to 4 million people that died, to their families, that the research was worth it. That if this escaped from a lab, it still was worth it, the knowledge gained. And that's a very debatable point. And a lot of people are now saying, you know what, it wasn't worth it, and it's not worth it in the future, and we really should have limitations on this type of research.
I mean, it's a global scandal, is it not, Senator? Especially when you watch this clip from Fauci back in 2013.
You have to have some restrictions in the sense of you don't do work that could actually hurt people, in the sense of if you have a laboratory accident. Once you start being too restrictive, you then impede creativity for so many of the good things that could come out of the same type of work.
All those good things, Senator, that came out of the Wuhan lab, lots of them.
Well, you know, he was asked recently, do you still trust the Chinese? And would you give them more money? And his answer was yes. So this shows such a colossal lack of judgment that he doesn't need to be in a position where he can promulgate this thing. He also pays no attention to the science. 100 million people have had COVID and have immunity, but he completely discounts it. Why are they trying to inoculate people in the NFL that are really low risk for hospitalization or death? They're trying to inoculate them because Dr. Fauci doesn't accept the fact that many of them have already had it naturally, and so he just doesn't count their immunity in the scheme. He says, we got to push on, we got to push on. But it's him not engaging or remembering or presenting the science as it should be. And really, it's long past time that we send him to another location far away from the seats of power.
Senator Paul, in Tennessee, there's a piece today, and they reported that there have been 1,000 breakthrough cases with people who've been fully vaccinated of COVID. And the doctor reporting on it said that 25% of those 1,000 cases were asymptomatic, which I thought, that's interesting. Only 25% are asymptomatic. That's from Tennessee. And obviously the vaccine has effectiveness, especially with older people. But there's something else happening with some of these small number of breakthrough cases.
Well, the Delta variant is real, and it is taking over the wild variant. But the good news is that it's much less deadly, maybe 1/10 as deadly as the virus was last year. So we're going to have large numbers. We're going to have people who are vaccinated. We're even going to have people who have had the disease get it again. But the thing is it really a disease if you don't get any symptoms? So the thing is what we should watch for are hospitalizations and deaths. If hospitalizations and deaths are going up among either vaccinated or previously infected people, we may have to be concerned. But so far, it doesn't look like that. So far, it looks like that we're getting a lot of positive cases and very few symptoms. So they just need to be honest with people. We need not to scare people to death. And really, we don't need to have everybody running down to be tested that doesn't have symptoms. I mean, what kind of disease is it that has no symptoms that we're going to get hysterical because people have a disease that has no symptoms?
No, it's completely insane. Senator, your confrontation this week was so important. Thank you for doing it. It's great to see you.